name is Chris Fair and welcome to my channel, where today I'll be talking about 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, it's season 4, it's episode 8, Stranger in a Strange Land. It should be called Strange Person in a Normal Land, because that land they're in is normal for all the people that live there. It's only strange if you haven't done any research about it and don't know the history and live in your own bubble where you live and don't know how other people live. Okay, let's talk first about people I don't care about. Lana and Williams were not in this episode, and God bless, and thank God. And you know, we don't need them at all. Avery and Ash, what were you guys smoking when you picked this couple? It must have been an indica and not a sativa, if you know what I mean. Sweet humor. Yeah, Avery and Ash just like still on this extra vacation where all Avery's doing is drinking the hard alcohol and asking the hard questions. And all Ash is doing is just like, Avery's just like, you say you'll move to America with your son, but as a mother, I just can't see how that would happen. And all Ash is just like, you're really setting up this whole like Avery showdown with Ash's like baby mama. Avery's going to ask questions to her and find out the real scoop, and while Ash the whole time is just like, when we see in the upcoming scenes for the next episode, I think Avery might pull a Lisa where she like doesn't want her boo to do the job that he's doing, which is get women to throw money at him under the fantastical delusion that one day that he would be with them. Usman and Ash have very similar jobs. Okay, next couple, because honestly not much is happening with everyone I mentioned so far, like that was it. David and Lana. Where we find David is, you know, on the road to Lana's hometown. Insert name here. He's driving, and I mentioned this in the live, he can't read signs, right? Like he can't read the train signs, they're in a different language, and like driving must be really hard for him. He can't read those signs, nor can he like read the signs of the fact this relationship is a fake catfish one. But you know what? Here's one thing. He can change a tire. What he doesn't really do is change a tire, which is like he always kind of has the same clothes on. Change that up a little bit. Honey, I'm punning it up. So he gets to Lana's hometown, and the whole thing is that he says he doesn't want to scare Lana or seem creepy by going directly to her house, which he has her address because of that one time that she said she'd go on a cruise with him. So instead, he thinks it'll be like way chiller, totally nonchalant if he just happens to run into her in her hometown. So the whole time, I guess, in their conversation, which I can't imagine what they've been talking about for 7 years, but Lana keeps dropping this candy shop she really likes. And so she's just like, I went to the candy shop, I got some goodies. I went and got some yummy treats from a candy shop, you know, and he just like thinks about her going into like Willy Wonka's palace and then just like picks out a bunch of like bubble gum. So around her neck of the woods, he finds a candy shop, honey. And it's just like 50 Cent playing, you know, it's like Lil Kim. I'll take you to the candy shop. One lick of what I got. I'll have you spending all you got. Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa. He keeps going until he hits the spot of where Lana is. So he really relates to that song. So he goes in this place, and it's just a very mom and pop, Ukrainian, Russian looking Eastern candy shop. There's no like big barrels of saltwater taffy or anything that we're used to. It's fine. There's no like gummy cigarettes, the ones that are got illegal for a while because they realize you shouldn't be like selling fake cigarettes to kids that you would blow out and like pat a trick would come out. Little lady's there, and he walks in, and his like Google Translate app, he's like, do you know this woman? At first they must have been like, oh, that's a dead woman that was like found in the lake or something. Like, what is this? A detective. But he's like, this is my girlfriend. I'm trying to find her. And then she takes one look at this filtered blonde beauty, and she takes one look at this 87-year-old American man, and she's just like, no. First off, David, Lana doesn't eat candy. Have you seen that body? Every time she said she went to the candy shop, honey, she meant the med spa, and all the goodies and treats she got were injected into her face. Next couple is Stephanie and Erika. Ooh, this is just so fake. I don't like it. But like, the whole thing is a conflict that's been like set up so deliberately which is that Stephanie is scared to be intimate and to show affection. And Erika, that's her love language, is intimacy and affection. And she and Stephanie have been talking for so long, and they're already girlfriends, and Erika gets to watch all of Stephanie's YouTube, which is the only reason why Stephanie got on this show, is for more subscribers. By the way, that's brilliant. I need more subscribers. You know that Stephanie has like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and I have like 6. I'm single. And I have boobies, and I'll talk about things. And I feel like that's what Stephanie's brand is, and I have those as well. After their fight, they go in the car to drive to where Erika's from. It's like a 3-hour car ride. Erika's like, cool, like, let's talk. We have some issues. And Stephanie's like, oh, this is not the time. No, we can't talk about this now when we're both sitting here doing nothing for 3 hours. I want to listen to my Dua Lipa. Stephanie's like, shut up, Erika, it's Jojo Cat time. If you like it from the front, wait till you see it from the back. Erika's like, oh my God, this bitch. Everything is about you, all about you at all times. Whatever you want to do, however you're feeling, you're supposed to just walk on eggshells. And right now I get to drive 3 hours on eggshells because you don't want to talk about basically what's happening with our relationship, which is making it awkward to be with you. And now I just get to have 3 more hours of it being awkward. She's like, I cannot wait to talk to someone else, including my friend. So she gets home, you know, and she talks to her friend, the one that looks at that model whose name is Kara and her last name is something I'll never say. And like Kara and her are like talking, her name's not Kara. And Erika's being like, this is not what I thought I was going to be. I pictured one thing and Stephanie's a whole other. It sort of reminds me a little bit like Lisa and Usman. Like Usman thought that like, yeah, maybe Lisa's a little controlling, but then Lisa got to Nigeria and realizes it's Judge Judy, honey. It's her way or the highway. And Stephanie's the exact same, but then there's added like layers on top of Stephanie's controllingness, which is just like, and she's so sick all the time and everything's about me being sick. I ended up putting up my immunity to be here. Erika's like, take it all back. Take your masks, we'll leave your sanitizer. Leave your masks and your sanitizer. We might need that in a second. So doesn't let Erika talk about what's happening, and instead they're just supposed to like, what, look at each other? Because they can't touch, can't talk, can't touch. They're supposed to just be like, then like every 5 minutes, Stephanie will give Erika a new present and Erika starts crying. And then Stephanie just like stares at her like a psychopath until Stephanie realizes that she should also have emotion. And then she's just like, but I'm sick and I also don't know what to do. You know, it's just the worst. I mean, these 2 girls, ugh. Vanya and Geoffrey, okay. So they're back at Vanya's mom's house, right? And they like just woke up and Vanya's mom like makes them like a yummy beef fast. It sort of reminds me of the beef fast that Natasha made for what's his face when they were in the Ukraine. But remember how like Natasha made that dude like eggs and tomatoes? That's what Vanya's mom makes. She serves it to the people like against the wallpaper of like a New York City skyline while like their own windows are closed, you know, because their view isn't as skyline-y. They're like, we're gonna like go on a tour today of this beautiful place that you call home. And later on, we're just gonna like leave you, like even though you barely see your daughter, we're gonna leave you to go on a camping trip with my friend Igor. So then Vanya like shows him around like her school and stuff like that. And they sit on the stoop and she's like, when we were kids, we would go in the construction site across the way and play. That was our fun times. He's like, that sounds dangerous. He's like, I'll raise you. When I was young, I used to peddle drugs and I went to jail for 2 years. And Vanya has a reaction that isn't surprised. She isn't like, what? She kind of feels like she already knew, but she's like acting as best she can to be like, that is so crazy because my cousin died of drugs and my aunt was overcome with grief and our family was so sad. Did you ever think of the families? And he's like, no, never thought of the other people's families. I barely thought of my family. Geoffrey was a reenactment actor for Snapped, and I feel like they're going to need him to play himself in an episode soon. I wonder what he was like in prison. He's like, yeah, I just wanted to like tell you about my past before things got intense. And she's like, do you think I bring all the men I talk to on WhatsApp and Instagram to my hometown and in front of my school and tell them about the construction site story? I mean, you've met my mom. She has made you the famous Eastern eggs and tomatoes that we only reserve for suitors of the highest kind. Okay, let's talk about Darcy and Tom. So even though They have dragged this out for what feels like years. This one meeting, that's all we've had, is one sit-down coffee thing.
Think about how many conversations we've already had between Yolanda and like her family, her daughter, Kara. There's been like at least 3 conversations with Kara. There's been at least 2 conversations with her whole family. There was even like a conversation with her and her best friend, that one like very nice looking lady that they went like to a cheap store with. And it's like, that's what we've had for that whole relationship. And what we've had for Darcy and Tom is one meeting.
Okay, I guess we did get like Darcy going to like a spa with her sister and her friend, but like if we were paying for this, we would need our money back. But here we are. So last we saw, Tom's a total dick and called Darcy fat when Tom, like not nearly like 3 months ago before he went on like the master cleanse, was 95 pounds heavier. I guess you like lose a lot of weight when you're catwalking during Milan's fashion week. Tom is feeling bad about what he's done to Darcy and what he said to her, so he's reflective on this walk in New York somewhere overlooking the water, okay? And he decides to call up our favorite lady, Tom's sister. And Tom's like all pensive, he's like, hello. And she's like, oi, Tom! Hi, I've had a rough go at it.
What, Tom? How are you?
Well, I met with Darcy and it didn't go, you know, that well.
Tom, what's wrong?
Now here's what's up. Tom feels bad and he should have told his stupid ass sister that he called Darcy fat. But he can't say that to his sister who is overweight and also reasonable enough to like come at him with fangs. So he just doesn't say anything. He's just like, you know how Darcy is with all of Darcyism, so couldn't get through to her.
Oh, well, you know, she wasn't ever right for you. But I'll tell you right now, I met a lovely chimney sweep and we're about to fly off with a kite.
I'm horrible. And then we cut back to Darcy, honey, and Darcy's in a white robe. Her whole face is washed, you know, like she looks like she's already double cleansed. The lashes are off, everything's off. And she's just like, why did I even have to go? So she can throw it in my face? Oh, I thought Tom was different. But he's just a Jesse in disguise. Oh, Darcy, stop saying Jesse's name. I mean, I don't understand. Is Jesse paying you every time that you say his name? That is the only reason I can feel like he must be like low-key Darcy. Every time you say my name, I'll Venmo you $5. And she's just like, ooh, $5. More money for me to buy fake Chanel purses. It is quite a thing that like everyone's like, stop talking about Jesse. Like even Tom was like, stop talking about Jesse. And even in the breakup with Tom, she's like, he's a Jesse. Jesse's is just still about Jesse. Tom is Jesse. Jesse is Jesse. I'm not with Jesse. Why isn't I'm with Jesse? Do you think that sometimes when she's home with Stacy, she accidentally calls Stacy Jesse? She's like, meet my twin sister, Jesse. I mean, Jesse, Stacy. I wonder if she calls her kids Jesse sometimes. Hey, Jesse, and the taller looking Jesse. In all of my deductive reasoning, I do know this. We are going to get one more Darcy-Tom interaction. They've already set it up. First of all, we know that she mysteriously brought her bags to New York and didn't just go home right away to Connecticut. And as I said in the live, there is no way that Darcy can afford, nor would she pay for a hotel room in New York a night. It's very expensive. Like hotel rooms are like $600. She doesn't have the money. If she did, she'd get eyelash extensions. I've talked about this and you know this. The producers paid for her to stay one more night and it's because they're gonna get all the content they can out of her. And she's not even crying during this robe scene with her because she's saving those tears for later. And they even set up this, that like she hasn't heard from Tom. She checks her WhatsApp phone and then she's like, but I blocked him. So I blocked him anyway. I blocked him on WhatsApp. And Tom feels bad. He wants to reach out to Darcy, maybe, to talk about this. And so he's gonna try and like text her, but he realizes that she's blocked him. So the only thing he can do is show up at her hotel room. Knocky knock. Darcy, Farah, you would have left that full face makeup on, honey. Oh, look. Trash is here. That's fitting. On to the next trash dump. Just gotta wait for this to go by. Okay, up next, Lisa and Usman. So Lisa and Usman leave the chalet suite and they go to buy a gift for Usman's mom. They have to like, you know, pay homage and show up with something in their hands, which is better than what Geoffrey did, highway flowers. They go to a goat farm that smells because it's a goat farm. They're looking around for goats and they look real skinny, but Lisa finds the goat of goats. Greatest of all time, goat of the goats. The goat of goats, honey. And so she's like, well, how much is that goat? And they're like, 40,000 somethings. But for 40,000 somethings means like $115. Lisa starts to raise an eyebrow. And she's like, they're quoting me that price because I'm white. And Usman's like, first of all, it smells bad. I should be used to it, but like, it smells bad. And I want to get out of here. This is a good price, and I wouldn't let you be charged the white price. And I feel that from Usman because he's already paying the white price. But the price he has to pay is dating Lisa / being Lisa's slave, which is exactly what his mom thought was going to happen. And in fact, exactly what is happening. This makes me sad because his mom thinks that if he goes to America, he's going to become a slave to white people. And I would like to think there are many different realities in which that isn't the case. Look, we have racial tensions and racial problems in America, but there are many white women that Usman could be with that wouldn't treat him like a slave, but he just happened to pick one that would. Lisa knows this about Usman's mom. She has to fight against it. She's like, all right, Usman, so go in my purse and get the money for this goat. She opens up her like Michael Kors black bag, which I hadn't seen before, but like, honey, it's making its star debut. He gets the money, they pay, they take the goat home. And Lisa's like, I just don't want your mom to think that I'm taking you away to be my slave. Now do my hair. I mean, I wouldn't know how to do a proper head wrap, a traditional head wrap, but I do know that what Usman looks like he makes Lisa do is like what we do when we get out of the shower, which is like put a towel on underneath and then wrap it up and then just throw it back. Like that's the way that he wraps Lisa's hair in a head wrap. Honey, they get the goat, they get back in the car, and they go to Usman's family. Salam alaikum is what Usman says. Lisa like doesn't say anything. The mom is there with the elder sister, and I don't know why I said it like that, the elder sister, and some other peeps in the family, and like a bunch of kids who are just like, who is this? And they roll out the green carpet. They all sit on it, and it's time to hash it out, get down to biz. You know, this is the first time that Usman's brought any woman home to meet his mom, and that person is Lisa. Could you imagine? Who, I mean, does not put on any sort of like front. She's not like smiling or being warm. She managed to say like, you have a nice place to Usman's mom, but literally in that tone. I mean, if it was me and I was trying to make a good first impression, honey, I'd be like, those kids, hi. But then it's like down to business. Now, what feels like a very formal meeting, that would be like what we usually see between like a male suitor in a heterosexual situation, I guess, a male suitor coming for a young woman to meet their parents. What are your intentions? What is your mission? And Usman's like, she has come to take me back to America. And the sister right away is like, she looks like she's 50 years old. And that, by the way, is a compliment to Lisa because she's like 64. The mom is being stoic and silent, and the sister's being the chatty one. It's like good cop, bad cop. And the sister's like, how is it in America? Usman takes, how is it in America? And then says, what do you do in America? To Lisa. And Lisa goes, I'm a hospice worker. I work with people at the end of their lives. And that turns into, she's a doctor. Usman's really trying with the goat and the lies to butter up his mom and sister to think that Lisa is cream of the crop. The sister's like, oh, a doctor. Usman's mom's like, then the brother comes and sits down. Pretty much the mom and the sister are like, no. And then put on their wraps and leave, honey. It's like they have spoken. God, can this trash man like go to a different block? Thank you for your work though. They walk out, honey, and it's like some mafia shit. Like they're dons. They're like, we've said our word. You've come, we've said our word. Thanks for that goat. We're gonna kill and eat it. You're out. And that's it, honey. It didn't go well for them. Last and certainly least, it's Ed and Rosemarie. Ed just has had a dinner at Rosemarie's storehouse. He's been sweating in those clothes, honey. And now it's time to sleep. When Ed commits, he commits because he said he'd spend the night with her in this place, and there's like so many deterrents. Like the dad is like, oh, guess what? I'm not gonna go back to that pig farm. It's too far away. So I'm like, spend the night here. I want to keep an eye out on you. And Ed's like, okay, we already boned when we were staying at the Manila Marriott, but okay. But it turns out he's going to sleep in the next room. So they go to Rosemarie's room and it's raining. You all know what rain sounds like. And Ed's like, it's raining. And Rosemarie's like, yep. At one point, thunder happens. He's like, is that thunder? And Rosemarie's like, yeah. And they get ready for bed and they roll out the mattress pad. Ed doesn't have his 1,000 thread count sheets because he has a skin issue that is just basically eczema. So they sleep on the Hello Kitty sheets that Rose has, or surrounded by her toys in her room. And Ed is still in his outfit that he was wearing earlier, which is now bathed in sweat. The electricity switches off and the very, very, very shitty fan that has been blowing nothing anywhere grinds to a halt. And I know that behind that shanty, a producer was just like, the producers are just eating this up, honey. They love it. Ed then resigns himself. This is what his life is. And he lays down and goes to sleep. I wouldn't, no, I couldn't have, and I wouldn't have. Yeah, I would have just been like, oh, I'm gonna like ride whatever hours back to the Manila Marriott. But he does, and I think we should give him some props for that. In the morning, he's still wearing the clothes. He has sweated all night. He says it's the worst night of his life, which Captain Hobbs. And he's like, I didn't sleep. The mosquitoes bit me. And it's like, yeah, because you're too sweet, Ed. Probably also the mayonnaise in your hair. I'm sure it gave off some sort of like, bite me vibe. And so she's like, cool, let's get you showered because you smell. Can you imagine what that person smells like? Ooh, I can't even. Ooh, I don't want to. So the dad is like, hi, I'm gonna shower and you shower. So he decides to take a shower with the dad. And by shower, I mean get hosed down from Rosemarie like kids on a hot summer day. And he reacts to being hosed down as if it's like gunfire. He needs it. I don't know why he didn't bring any other clothes. It's really weird. You can say what you want. You didn't have your like sheets or whatever, but you did have your sheets at the hotel. Didn't he bring his own sheets to the hotel? Like, where's your clothes? Where are those sheets? Where's your nightgown? Where's your pajamas? You made such a big to-do the fact that she doesn't have pajamas, honey. She changed before bed. I didn't see you change. Then, while showering, he looks over to a cage. And in those cage, chickens. Because we all know what chickens look like. And if you forgot what chickens look like, he had the opportunity to be reminded when the night before he saw one and asked what it was. And then was confirmed it was in fact a chicken. And then he fed the chicken. And he sees a chicken again. And he's like, what is that? What? Chickens look the same. It's not like a special chicken. It's not a turkey. It's not a turkey. It's not an ostrich. It's a chicken.
Why don't you know what a chicken looks like? I mean, it's as if he went to war with chicken a long time ago and now he has PTSD and like has chicken amnesia. And every time he sees one, he's like, what's that? But like subtly in the subconscious of his mind is a quick flashback glimpse of like when a chicken killed his whole family. And he doesn't remember. Or like maybe one time like he was hanging with like the Men in Black guys and they were like, we're gonna like fuck around and just make this guy forget chicken. And so they flashed him with his like Men in Black style forgetting device and he like can't remember. Or maybe one time he was in Vegas or something and there was like a mind reader or something, you know how they were just like puts you under and they're just like, now act like a chicken, you know, and like so he was like in a trance. It was like, but he can't like do this, you know, because like the next thing, so he's like or whatever, and then like that illusionist is like, for the rest of your life you won't know what chicken looks like.
Those are the only theories I have of why this man does not know what a chicken looks like. So Rosemarie again has to be like, chicken. So then he stops the shower and in the corner is a rat because this isn't the best living situation. Even though he keeps asking them if they enjoy living this way. And they're like, yes, because they know no other way. And what they're going to say, no, we hate our lives. No, we're in turmoil. Our sister already asked you for money. You said no. Is this some sort of like economic shame thing that you like to get off on? Like, is this some sort of like privilege fetish? Like you just want to be like, do you like living this way? Anyway, what's that? Rosemarie's like a mouse. He's like, you mean a rat? And she's like, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. I only see one rat here. So then they decide to go to the piggy farm with the dad because low-key, he can't spend another night here. And so he's like willing to pay money to like bring Rosemarie like on some other sort of vacation or whatever, kind of like what Ash did with Avery, but we'll see how that turns out. Mostly because he wants to bone her again and he just can't like bone her like a Hello Kitty mattress pad with the dad next door. Honey, they're on the bus to the piggy farm and like Ed's trying to talk to the dad and doing a bad job. No one wants to talk to you. You don't know what chicken is. Each question is like a one-word answer. And they get to the piggy farm and then like Ed is going to do things at the piggy farm, like help feed them, but he has like sneakers on, and so he decides to put bags over his sneakers to protect them from the mud, but it ends up like being a death wish for him because he can't walk, and so he literally falls over and over again into the mud, curses hardcore each time. Holy shit! Do the following things. Stop trying to do things at the piggy farm or take the bags off your shoes. Insanity is repeating the same behavior and over again and expecting different results. These baggies aren't working, nor really are you. And then he's like to the dad, like, where do you live? And the dad points to just like another room in the piggy farm. And he's like, there. And he's like, do you like living there? He's not gonna start crying on your shoulder and be like, I'd love to live where you live in San Diego with your dog. Do you think Ed wakes up every morning in his own room, looks at his dog and is like, is that a dog? And Ed's like, great, 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 yeah. Rosemarie, tell him I had fun. You know, and she's like, he had fun. This episode was full of so many gems. What those producers got to see Ed do and live through, I mean, is like what this show's about. Ed is the perfect character on the show. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
I also like love the fact that like we are low-key seeing Rosemarie like decide in real time that men are not for her. No, she's done. She's cool. She's gonna tap out this one. This one's like the straw that broke the Rosemarie back.
And if you want to know more about that, check out my Cast Controversies video where I snooped and dived into her Facebook and found out the fact that she's engaged, honey, and it's not to Ed. Can you believe I did it? Can you believe, even with the trash coming in and out, and even with this trash coming in and out, I talked about the whole episode? I can't wait to see what happens next with Darcy and Tom. Next week we're supposed to have like another Lana and David showcase showdown at a restaurant to see if like Lana shows up. Honey, I'll tell you who's gonna show up. Me to watch it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, I have a Facebook group where we get to talk into deep dive into all of this, and I posted a cameo from Ed on Easter that he sent to one of my cousin's friends. So if you want to look at that, if you want to get some hot goss, go to Facebook and search Vanity Farah and just answer a question so I know you're not a crazy person and I'll accept you, or one of my mods will. My live reaction to this episode, that's also something I posted already. I went live after the episode because I need to get things out. It's like almost 2 hours, which is basically how long the show is. So what did I talk about the whole time? I have no idea. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 10K, which is like not even anything. It's like a drop in Stephanie's bucket. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Chris L. Farah. The L is for lockdown, which is what we all are doing right now and not going out. So I really appreciate your time here spent with me. I love you all very, very much. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stand up for what you believe and make art, okay? Bye.